I'll email this time.
I'll wait till Thursday.
Should we do like introduce ourselves? To
That's
the
what we're
group?
going to do. Yep, great. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna,
Have our beverages.
I've done this a few times with the RDC, just because I'm in meetings. So I'll go ahead and start the meeting tonight. Today is Tuesday, March the 26th. We welcome everyone to our first and much welcome Greenscape Commission meeting. So we will do we'll call to order first, so we're all here, and we'll go ahead and do a roll call, and we'll start on my right.
Jess, live on 11 with our dogs, and avid gardeners and hikers and things like that. Just love being out in nature. So our neighbor is Ben Easley, and he got us hooked up with the Greenscape.
Thanks, Ben.
Crystal, I also live on 11th, and Ben is also Mike. Dabbled in plants and trees and stuff a lot the last 10 years or so. So Ben reached out and asked if we'd be interested in this, and it was pretty easy, yes, at least on our side. So yeah.
Master gardener, master naturalist.
Are you a master gardener?
I am. Yeah, master gardener.
I'll be talking to you.
I just took the Master Naturalist program last spring, which was a lot of fun.
Is that through DNR?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I took it the Southeast Way Park. They were a lot of fun.
Southeastern.
Oh, like the road. They were a lot of fun because they also had the maple syrup. Because it was that early in the spring that they had the maple syrup run, and that was a lot of fun. So you can go like see the process of all that.
Where was that?
Southeast Way Park.
We went there when I homeschooled my kid, and you watched them tap a tree and then watch them cook some of the maple syrup. That was really cool. So that's really cool. You gotta get
That's
it
what all
done.
that stuff, because I was out there, they have like the big, I don't know, smokers or grills or something.
They did that a lot in southern Indiana, where I grew up on the farm.
Cool.
Well, I'm Elizabeth Lamping, I'm the City Council, District 1, and just kind of, we all very ambitious and like-minded people for being tree friends, so I'll pass it on.
I'm Kelsey Beal. I live on 9th in Churchman. I professionally am a landscape architect, although I'm not like registered with the state and all that, so I have to call myself landscape designer. But I work in landscape architecture, really right on Main Street. Our business is Mango Design, Golden Main. So we do. That's like my educational background too. We do site design and planning for any built thing. What architects do for buildings, we do for the outside. So there's a huge environmental component to it, but it's not all that. But I'm just kind of always been a nature nerd and a plant nerd, and so this fits right into it.
I pet my plants. I'm serious. I have house plants. Anyway, I love plants too. That's awesome. So how long have you been doing that?
During Mass or after?
I graduated in 2007, so since that's going on 20 years of working in that field. So I do have like professional connections and like things like that, like with the DNR and tree services. Like I know some people at least who to talk to help us to hire me. I'm not any kind of like tree expert, but I know a lot. I know enough to be dangerous.
You have connections though.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's
At
awesome.
least to figure out the way to go.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Hi. I'm Brenda Wilson. You can't really see me, so you can see my hand. I was in the Greenscape Commission previously in 2016. It all started because of Mayor Buckley. He actually was talking to me about how our Tree City status is so important because it helps offset the carbon footprint of our surrounding plants. And so I was like, this would be manufacturing plants or granaries and things like that. So I thought that was really interesting, and I really wanted to do something because I lived here and I love Beach Grove, and that's kind of like how our family is we do what we can. So anyway, I was here before and I am back and I'm so happy to be here. I've done a couple other things between then and now, so maybe I can help with Greenscape with social media and some videos and things like that too. Plus I get to learn from all of you and I am just frothing at the mouth to that. So thank you.
Yeah.
I am blessed to be here because of all of you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
So the first on our agenda then, I just kind of made a brief, not really overly complicated agenda. So we'll talk about the tree inventory process and the grants. So, and I'll let maybe Kelsey,
Yeah.
you know a little bit of history about the tree inventory.
So, yeah, and just to take like one step back, which you kind of got started on that, like let's just say like why the Greenscape Commission is even here, like
Good point.
what's her purpose
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, thank you.
So to get the Tree City designation, yes, but like the
But it's just something.
I mean, I think we all know enough to just say that like how important the tree canopy is for the whole of the environment, the ecology, and getting diversity in the species is a really important thing because each species of tree supports different life. And I think one of my professional and personal agendas is to get rid of invasive species, and we will talk all about that. We'll get all educated on invasives because we're going to educate Beach Grove about invasives. I think getting the tree inventory done is part of that education, and will give us the data to present our case to why we need to tear down all these pear trees and replace them with something else, because that
There's
is
so many now that I
Yeah.
see them blooming and like, oh my god.
So are you talking about not in people's
Do they not even see?
yards, but between
Right.
the sidewalk and the street?
So we have, whatever say we have over trees and the environment in Beach is only on Beach Grove city property. So that's the right of way, which is usually the back of the sidewalk to the curb, or to the other back of the sidewalk if you're talking about just a residential street, and then parks properties and whatever other properties the city might own. I think you found out that school properties don't play into that
I
equation.
had a conversation with Brad Merriweather from the DPW, who seems to be like, when we did not have a commission that was meeting regularly, he kind of kept that part of it going for it to be Tree City.
Okay.
And he said he would recommend not to include the schools.
Sure.
Yeah. not to
Which
include
is
the
fine.
school
I think
properties.
we start and focus on what we have and where, like start here, and then, if we're successful with getting a tree inventory done and getting some kind of education or policy against invasive, like just get the city to think more towards the correct environmental practices, then maybe that'll spread to schools and residential things. That will have more feet to stand on.
I like how you want to do the education because I really did not know about what invasive species did to our environment. And our next door neighbor is a biology professor at UND. And
Ooh.
so his backyard is all denatured. And he will go on his tree line and he'll dig out the invasive species, and we got like a special tool. So maybe we can actually show these people what they are and how to get rid of them, because I had no clue. My husband had no clue. I mean, we're like thinking hacksaws, and that's just
Yeah.
not going to work. So
So through my training and background and everything, I think it's going to be important to focus on the obvious choices. Like here's what a pear tree is. Here's burning bush and honeysuckle. Like just pick a few things to focus on, because if we just go all the invasive, everybody will be overwhelmed and it won't go as far. Like
Right.
focus effort is
well,
good.
maybe it's like maybe 1 month we can focus on maybe 1 or 2 species, and that way people can go do the, where's Waldo, and go see if it's in the yard.
Yes.
And then maybe the next month we can say, okay, we're going to add to our, and then maybe add another 1 or 2 trees. But I think it's like just kind of getting them used to looking out for that tree like once a month or something. But I love how you're doing this.
So on that same
Yeah.
thought, I got with Angel McKenna at the Hornet Park Community Center, Parks Department, all that, and we're gonna do some, we're calling it Native to Naturalist Days at the Prairie Garden.
Good,
At Sarah Bolton Park, there's that native prairie garden. So just for now, I'm gonna just lead it just because but I would like to get like people like your neighbor to come and like have like a speaker thing, but it'll start with like we're gonna focus on thistle today and like identify thistle, talk about thistle, talk about invasive species, why they're bad with it, and then everybody take 20 minutes and pull as much thistle, only that, you know. And then Angel's gonna provide some kind of like activity for kids and like a little art thing or whatever, have a break and some snacks and whatever, and then I'll teach just IDing the prairie plants, the native plants, do a little presentation about why native plants are good and what that even means, and just kind of start that community education.
So what is the name of this again?
Novice to naturalist.
And then I was gonna bring up at some
So we have like
point,
6 of those planned for this year. I forgot my flyer, but I'll get you guys the dates, and then it would be awesome if the Greenscape Commission.
So it's Novice to Naturalist Day, and then, or something at the community center.
she's really good about putting everything on the
Yes.
Park Community
So,
Center.
okay, I'll just put that in Angela.
They already put a little flyer in their like newsletter, I think, community center.
We'll get their like almost magazine calendar that's in the back of their events.
So to get some of that information out, I was gonna talk about how we could utilize our city website better, because there's just nothing on the website. Should we look towards trying to put more education stuff on our city website, or can we partner with the Hornet Park? What are your thoughts on that, anybody? So we could kind of.
I know Samantha's trying to focus everything to one place, like
Yes,
the
that's what I
city
thought.
calendar and all
Yes.
of that. I think
Yeah.
advertising like these days on our Greenscape Commission page.
That's
on the
what I
city
would love
page
to
would
have
be-
that, that's just really a cool
And we do have a
page.
Facebook page. Are you an admin on that yet?
Oh,
Or
no.
It's
I,
in the- nothing.
I have not gotten onto any of that yet. I don't know what Facebook group.
There is a
How
just
do you do
Intro
that?
Commission Greenscape. I'm an admin on there. I can probably add all of you.
Okay.
I would not
Or,
know how to do that on the Greenscape Facebook page.
But that's just so you can
Yeah.
like post from that.
Okay,
Right.
okay, yeah, yeah,
That's where I'll see it the most, but if there's a link to the website, then I
yeah.
would follow that.
Right, yeah.
But if we had a way to direct people to this good information
Yeah.
for education purposes.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I can do is we can make little infomercials about what we're doing. We can record these, and then I can see if I can post them in all of the Facebook,
That would be great. Yeah.
Facebook groups, and then have that link in the comments that will send them to that particular
Yeah.
website or wherever it is you want me to send it. And I know how to do that, because if you don't do it correctly, it doesn't matter what group you're in.
Nobody sees it.
Well, nobody sees it because Facebook won't put it out here. If it has a link in the copy card, that takes them off of Facebook. They don't like that. So it's all these little nuances.
Oh, and so
So-
are there some new regulations or whatever, because
Oh,
I've seen.
it's all about the algorithms and,
Okay, well, if you know how to figure that out.
If you can post like external links in the comment of
Right.
whatever you're doing.
Right.
But if you put it up there, then they just like bury it.
right. They don't want it in the copy, they'll allow it in the comments. So as long as it doesn't take them off of the page initially, they have to go into the comments to find it, so.
But if somebody tried to get on there and just be disruptive and mean or whatever, somebody can regulate to keep that
Oh,
stuff.
are you talking about in the comments?
Yeah.
Sure, we could just hide and block them.
Because we just don't need that stuff.
Hide, edit, gone.
We don't need, right, this is all positive, it's all,
Right, yeah, I mean, I don't want an argument.
okay.
I'm not, I don't like to argue, so it makes it worse in my head.
Yeah, right.
It's fun.
Too many opinions.
You can
Right.
help out with, if you wanna do like seed giveaways or something with the naturalists, the naturalists, like,
I was able to get a grant, like I just did it through Native Plants Unlimited offers like small grants. It was like, I have this little median, I want to plant with native things. So I talked about the prairie garden. I got, I think 60 or so shade plants, because there's like a hillside with a few trees that there's nothing really under there, because we need shade species under there. So I was able to get those, and then my boss at Mater Design offered to sponsor to buy some more plants, and we were talking about maybe giving away some plants and things like that.
Okay.
Awesome. But I would really like those days to just be mostly about like community education. Like these are why I just teach people native and basic. Why do you care at all? You know, like that's where we are with public education.
And what's the and again with the education, what's the damage to the native trees if there's an invasive species? Does it come along with like insects that are not good or harmful creatures and diseases that can threaten the healthy the native species?
That's part of it. It's mostly about just competition.
Okay.
Honeysuckle is the easiest one
okay.
to use as an example because it grows fast. It leaves out before everything else, so it's already shading things that need sun. It holds its leaves longer than everything else, so it's sucking up all the resources, and it's got berries that hang on that the birds scatter like it's. It just sends these things out like so. Once it takes hold, nothing else can be there.
It just smothers it.
And then there's the whole thing of you talked about evolution, so everybody watch out. But the insects and the pollinators have all evolved with these plants. So like chemically, they can monarch butterflies need milkweed to survive. It's the same with other species too. So if there's no milkweed, there's no monarchs. That's the really good, easy one. But they all have their relationships with these insects, and so it's like the bottom of the food web.
See, I didn't even know that. That is so cool. Okay, keep going.
That's that book that
I brought it.
Bringing Nature Home.
Yeah.
It's written by an entomologist, so bug guy, but he explained it to the landscape architecture world, and it just changed my brain forever.
I'll have to read it then.
Can I give it to you?
Yes, I have it.
You got right
It's tucked back on.
It gets really technical, but the beginning preface, he lays it all out, and then you will never see the world the same again.
Well, and
No.
NPR asked this old house has some really good programs, and because you the light bulb went off and you were talking about smothering and taking over the invasive versus the native.
So then when you go up to trees, pear trees support very few species, and oak trees supports hundreds of species, the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
And so, the more bugs you have, the more birds you have, the more, it just builds up.
So for the tree inventory,
We're for it.
the last inventory was done, we're way past due, correct?
Way past. I think
2000.
that was 2009.
Okay.
I think is what here. I do have an update from 2015. That's just one page of just we found this much change, and it was oh well, that they didn't. I don't know. It was kind of lackluster, I would think. And also technology has come a long way in tree inventory things. Yeah. So that is, I think, starting with, that's why this commission was created, was to get the tree inventory so that we can be a tree city designation. They recommend you update it every 5 years, which we are way past due on an update. And since then, the city's planted hundreds of trees. I think there was 600 something with just the Franciscan Trail project. So those are not included in here. Who knows what's died? Who knows how many more pear trees have come up?
And so the trail is a part of what we're the inventory.
Yep, because that's city property and it has right of way either side. So all of those along the trail would be.
Do we have a map of beach road boundaries?
I asked Brad for that specifically, but he did not send it to me, but I don't think that would be that difficult to get. How, I would think.
I could find it online.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be printable, but there's Marion County GIS online where it has you can click on the parcel and it will give you the property information and all that.
Is there a way we could maybe section off the boundaries and
It was-
do inventory of?
It was
You
suggested.
don't need to go count and do all these. That would be impossible for the 5 of us to. It wouldn't be impossible, but it would be shooting ourselves in the foot, and we would fizzle out. There, Davy, I think Davy Tree Company did this one. They're a huge, very reputable arborist company. I mean, they do like limb cutting to environmental planting, the whole gamut. So what we need to do is get the money to hire somebody.
Now, Jim Hoffman said this is who they used for the trail. Metric.
So
And then,
they do the tree inventory thing, so I think we need to contact Metric. Davey would be a good contact, and I have another contact just through work.
Zachary
to get,
That's really his name.
Zachary went down.
there was somebody in my first grade class named Zachary, so I really am interested to see
awesome.
Well, and I use Complete Tree Service. They used to do a lot of work for Beech Grove. They do all my trimming and everything for my personal property. He did say, because I wanted to collectively get several options. Two of their employers are going to be probably arborist type, whatever the term is, this year sometime. So just so we could, there might be some other people to pull, but I just wanted to have multiple.
I mean, if they do tree, not every
Yeah.
arborist does tree
Okay.
because it's a lot.
I had mentioned that to them specifically. Yeah.
So we need to get quotes, how much from these companies, how much would they charge? And then the DNR does offer grants for exactly this, tree inventory and urban tree canopy assessment, 1,000 to 20,000. It requires a 1-to-1 match from the city. So before we go ask for this money, we need to know how much we're asking for. I think it wouldn't hurt to just kind of start to scratch it. I don't know who we explained this to at the city when we asked this. Is it the city council? Is
Oh,
it
that you coach track is
Board of Works? Is
It's
it
gonna
just
have to come
Jim?
from somebody's budget.
Right,
And I'm trying to think, it would be a Parks Board budget,
probably.
probably,
I'm also on
or
the
the city, or we're a tree city, so, I guess we'll have to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And I think it would be, I mean, the redevelopment commission could possibly, I don't know if that would
think
fall within the redevelopment commission.
I mean, having a healthy
Yeah.
urban
yeah,
tree
I think that should
environment, it would be
Well, as
good
long
for
as we
development.
proclaim that we're a tree city, these are regulations that we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would think if we do our work, then the city should help us find the money.
Who was the grant? Was that an Indiana state grant or was that a national?
Indiana DNR, yeah.
And then you're welcome to have, I believe this has, take a look at that. And then it was suggested to me, because what you had a question about how we go about monitoring or doing that, but we'd have the arborists would do that. But Beth Berg, who was on the Greenscape many years, she suggested that kind of following the trash pickup zones. If we wanted to separate, she said, to follow the trash pickup zones, and then she said, then we could account for viable spaces that there's no trees there, that we could plant new
Right.
trees. And then,
Which
she
is
said,
part of the inventory,
Okay.
they will,
they would do that on the tree.
they can't, I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's the kind of thing where you can get different levels of service.
Okay, okay. And then she said we definitely need to work on a maintenance, so we definitely have to have a maintenance plan.
Which again, an arborist will
help us
part
with
of
that.
it is, assessing like the health of each tree too. I mean, it's over a certain diameter or caliber, they'll say, they'll identify it as a high risk or, needs replacement or whatever. So that when we get this data of the tree inventory, we can see what species we have, how big they are and how old they are, what kind of conditions they're in, what might be first priority for maintenance, limbing, cutting, all of that thing. And yes, spaces to put new trees.
And what to put where, what best fits, especially with sidewalks and all that,
Yeah.
for buckling and all that. Yeah.
So, and
I think
we have an
I
ordinance.
think I've heard language that they would like to kind of eliminate having trees planted in that easement, but help me out with
So,
that.
yeah, I remember a few years ago,
I don't know, there's that
casual, I mean, it was just a casual conversation with Mayor Buckley, so I don't know like the real details of it, but I think he said that now the city's not allowed to plant in any, we call it a tree lawn, like between the sidewalk and curb, that's 6 feet or less because of sidewalk things, which makes sense if you're talking about, I mean, we have a lot of silver maples that are 3 feet wide in that thing and they buckle the sidewalk and everything, but smaller species would fit in there just fine. I think it's a concern of maintenance,
Yes.
for sidewalks, water lines, utilities, all of that stuff, but, if things are, different trees grow to different sizes, so there are smaller species that could fit in there. If that is actually a real ordinance, then I would like to work to get that changed and say, oh, if it's 6 feet or whatever, here's 3 species that would
Yeah.
be acceptable in there, give
Well, one of the
options.
things that I did bring up with Mayor Buckley about that, because what I was finding is that when there was a plant in that easement on a corner and you're driving, you can't see around it. And so that was
For safety.
right. And so I found a couple of spots and I was like, this spot here, you may want to go have it checked out because either the grasses were too tall, you just couldn't see around
Yeah.
it. I just,
And in reality, the work of the Greenscape Commission is nothing is really supposed to be planted in any plantable space unless it's okay by the Greenscape Commission, is that correct? That's a big job.
I believe so,
Yeah, I think
but,
that's kind of in our,
it's kind of, I don't really know the exact, I haven't
language, yeah.
looked up. the
It's pretty simple
ordinance.
when you just look at the website for what the whatever is it, the mission statement or whatever it is for the Greenscape Commission.
I think, just like the last few years, like we need to, keep an eye out on those trees on Main Street and make sure that we're speaking up anytime they wanna
Yes.
remove them. They're just so valuable to the pedestrian environment, even just shade, period, but there's tons of studies and stuff about how mature trees and shade trees increase property values, increase development, like it makes it an attractive place, they reduce crime, there's like all these statistics.
It just reduces the quality of life and has a lot to do with areas of poverty. When you look at areas that are of poverty, they just don't have a good tree canopy.
well, another thing is that people don't take into account too, is that when you go out into nature, it is actually a natural stress reliever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a lot of people don't talk about that. They don't even see the value of that. Oh, they're like, oh, it's a tree, it's in our city, okay? Go walk around it, get a hug, right? I mean, seriously, but people don't see the value of it that way either. So maybe that could be something that can be part of the education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there businesses that don't want them? Like who wouldn't want them on Main?
So there were, during COVID time, there was a push to, take out, landscape spaces to make outdoor patios because these restaurants had to close their indoors, so it was like, well, we can do it outdoors, so we're trying to save the businesses, like I'm all for that. But right out here, right outside this building, they took down a tree, and I think they did one outside of Fifth Ave Bar and Grill.
Yeah, they did.
And they wanted to do other ones, and then
We fought.
that's how I met Liz.
Yeah, we put our foot down and said,
Yeah.
no, we're not gonna get rid of green spaces
They
for
didn't
hard
really need
spaces,
to take
hard
the tree
spaces.
out.
Correct.
Put the table next to the tree. I mean, it wasn't.
And that's where like
But
my
they took the
background
path
comes
of
in. I'm
least
like, we can
resistance.
have both. I promise.
And it's hot and sunny, nobody wants to sit out there. Well, believe it or not, a beautiful tree was taken down because there were too many birds in it.
That's the whole point.
That was the complaint.
It was a beautiful tree because there's too many birds. It was infested with birds, supposedly.
So that's where the public education.
But it was beautiful, but it was because, and that was here. That was this one here. It was a beautiful tree that the previous owner just was sickened by it. She was, Baker. She was
Yeah.
a Baker.
Dawn.
Yeah, and she moved, I think she went back to,
The east side,
she went back to, but yeah, that was what was told me, that the tree got taken down because it was too much of a cluster with birds, but it was a beautiful tree.
It's like, we just have to
Yeah, just resist.
clean.
One of our
Just clean it
neighbors
up.
had a
Just-
full
just shake your
walnut
head, no,
tree.
it's not gonna happen. Just
And
resist.
I mean, there was a lot of walnuts every year, and they just got so tired of it, but they tore it down, and I mean, our squirrels went from this. I mean, we could see how it affected all the squirrels in our little neighborhood. Yeah.
But there are gonna be places where the wrong tree is in the wrong place, and we're gonna have to agree that
Yeah.
maybe that should come down. And right now, I think the how it's usually working now, if there's a complaint before we're gonna have this voice, is they would just call DPW and just take it down, basically. There's no conversation.
And there were a couple times, when I've gone to look at trees, because for a while the Greenscape Commission, well, we haven't even met in a while. It just kind of fizzled out because it was like, what do we do? I don't know. There was no traction. The city had like complaints about a few trees, and they were like, "Oh, Kelsey, can you go look?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not an arborist, but I meant, you know." And there were a couple times when it was like, "The sidewalk's buckling. We're gonna have to." You can just shave down concrete to reduce that trip hazard and keep the tree. You know, there are times. There's other things.
Who was it on Churchman that moved the sidewalk around the tree?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
around the tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad to see that. That thing's massive.
Yeah, it's really
there.
Sure.
So yeah, but just to bring it all back, if we don't have a document with data to point to,
Yeah.
then we can't. We're just going, no, save the trees, please. And one of my favorite parts of it is
Oh, that's like, yeah.
breaking down the percentage of each
Yes.
species.
Yeah.
Because in a healthy tree canopy, you have no species is more than 10%. That's like the ideal goal. But so, I mean, that's a really hard goal to reach. But if you look at it and you go, we have just 50% maples. Well, if some like you remember that emerald ash borer came through and there's no more ash trees, I mean, that's kind of why you want diversity in the trees, because you know that they get diseases and they'll get wiped out. And it's happened with Dutch elm disease, and I mean it happens.
So does
throughout
anybody
history.
in this talented group have any ideas on how to do a grant? Did you say you knew somebody that can do grants, or?
That would be Diana Hendricks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So for getting the grant, I was kind of hoping like if anybody, all of you, whatever, could contact these companies to get quotes.
Okay.
I will contact, it's Jacob Bruce at the DNR. It just says additional information and applications
That can be a text.
are available from, and then it has an email. So I can email them and start talking with DNR about it.
Okay. I can do metric. I don't mind.
So
We
if
were
we,
gonna talk to like Chris, we're part of the Fruit and Nut Growers Association.
nice.
I always
Yeah.
flip the two, but yeah, she, we're
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
talk to her
you
too.
know,
Perfect. Okay.
For the last day.
Because I think we need to get quotes and then compare them. I mean, I don't know if,
That's either too soon or.
I guess if it's the city's money, wherever that happens to come from, they will probably get a say on who's hired.
True. I don't know if it has to have a bid out, but I don't know how that will go.
And the DNR might be able to direct us a little bit to, like, if they say, oh, if you got Davy, then we'll give you, you know, like, that it might be a thing, I don't know, that's just a guess.
Others, let's go through it.
So I think starting there would be.
I think Brad Merriweather might have some grant writing abilities as well. I could check with him as well to see, do you have any?
I don't know what the application is.
But obviously,
But obviously,
I
they
thought
did it in 2009, so we can do it again.
There was actually, I thought somewhere I actually
I
had,
just like feel.
there's a work packet, the Indiana Tree City work packet.
So what all is generated from the, like, how does it come back to us? Through, like, a printed out document, or is it all in Excel?
I have an Excel spreadsheet
Okay,
with all the data.
okay.
And since that was 2009, like, I'm pretty sure there's other ways. I just looked around at Davy's stuff today.
It's actually recommended, here's oversight of trees for city Indianapolis.
It's just like, it's a mess and it's
Davy, this is just something I found on their website when I was searching around. A tree keeper inventory management software. So I didn't really look into this yet, but I think this is something like the city would purchase the software,
Oh,
probably get the data, and be able to maintain the tree inventory ourselves over time. I think is
and
how it
that's
works.
that maintenance piece then.
Well, no, that would be tree maintenance.
That's what I mean.
This would be maintaining the inventory.
I got you,
just
yeah.
keeping track of what, well, yes, and when they do maintenance. It can get logged through, I don't know, DPW or the Greenscape Commission, for somebody, it's like access to be able to change it more than
Now, would
getting a
they,
grant and hiring somebody, you know.
would they be tagging the tree?
No.
Okay.
So this one, well, this isn't the whole spreadsheet, but it does have a column for like address, like they try to locate it. But if it's in like a park or something like that, now you can just do a GPS, like boop. There's an iTree software where it can map it
Okay.
and all of that. I mean, technology's come a long way since.
I think Beth Berg, who was instrumental, was part of the last inventory, which sounds to me like something I don't really wanna take on. They kinda like, I don't know if they had a education or something, but they all just divided up, just did a divide and conquer and went out and kinda did that themselves by GPS.
Oh
and
my gosh.
everything. But I'm
I
not,
wouldn't be very confident in,
yeah.
I mean, can identify trees.
Yeah.
And that's why
And I just, I mean,
you said you need an
it's,
arborist.
it's out there, it's a service somebody offers, and you know, we all have lives, and we care enough to get this done. I would call that the right way, like the professionals do their job.
Do they have invoicing or any kind of record of what they planted? I would assume.
For the
Franciscan Trail, I have that.
Okay,
At work.
so maybe that could at least get the arborist started, just to say, you don't even have to do this part, we just planted all this.
Well, they need to go make sure they're alive.
Still alive, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll have a, okay.
Metrics probably would have some favorability because they've already walked with the city, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So there's a record, that's good. At least some of it's kind of done.
Yeah, I mean, we have the tree inventory record, the record from 2009, they can go check on these same trees, and it'll be, you can send them that spreadsheet.
Well, so I
There's just so much
more.
so you think getting three different outreaches for that, you think that's enough?
Yeah, and I
I think
have,
three is a good number.
So who are the three? DNR, Davy Tree, and Metric?
I know DNR is giving us, or we're applying for the grant through DNR.
Okay, so
So-
DPW
I'm gonna check with Fruit and Nut Growers Association too, and just see if they have somebody they
and
recommend.
okay, what was that again?
Fruit and Nut Growers Association.
Got it, okay, thank you.
See if they have.
And then I also have arborists, a consulting arborist, just through work connection. His name's Judd Scott. I'm gonna email him. He used to work for Davy.
And then that's
And now
metric,
he's gone
that
out on
has
his own.
worked with the city already.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna see who he recommends. I don't know.
Maybe it was
Okay,
but I mean, that was.
so,
That was very similar.
what is it, do you want me to contact any of these people?
I'm gonna do this one,
Okay,
you're gonna do
Yeah, I
fruit
got
nut
the
growers,
Fruit and Nut people.
and you're gonna do this one.
I'll do Judd, I'll contact Judd Scott and I'll contact DNR regarding, how do we apply? What do we need to do?
For the grant.
Send me an application.
Okay, gotcha.
okay, so who am I doing, what am I doing?
You want to do, I don't know, is there another, I don't have another option.
Well, that's okay, just whoever, just let me know. So,
Well,
I'll get everything from you, okay?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place right here, trying to just putting information
and
in.
if somebody could, somebody start figuring out who at the city are we asking?
I will.
Like, what, I don't know which avenue to take on that.
I'll start
schmoozing
who I have to schmooze.
Yeah. I'm happy to, as long as I can like prepare ahead of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
I'm happy to like go talk, present our case.
Angel might be able to help with that. I can ask Angel and I can ask Fred Merriweather, since I'm kind of the city council piece of it. I can reach out to them and just say, hey, once we get this rolling, where do we get our match?
The Parks Foundation is like,
It's a.
Could be.
What are you all doing? This is awesome. Like,
and maybe it's a thing where all these different groups.
yeah, there's a.
Collect, yeah.
And I was last year, was at Whole Country, and they have.
I don't even know how much it costs
Like,
yet.
they have a downstairs.
Yeah, I know.
set.
I don't know how much we're
So
asking for.
it's,
Yeah.
But the grant is
but it's so
up to
cool.
20,000.
Is it St.
I
Pat's?
can't
It's only
imagine it would be $40,000, but I have no idea what. I don't know. I don't
Inflation cost.
know. Yeah.
You never know.
Bread is not a nickel.
What'd you say?
Bread is not a nickel.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So I don't, yeah, if we can come up, if we come up with a third option, like I said, the complete tree service, he said that they might have, but I just thought that could be an outreach
Yeah.
of an art, but I don't know, you know, they
Well,
don't have
they're
an
all
actual
different
arborist.
size companies,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Some of them might be like, oh, we're,
And if you hear somebody, if you find something in a literature or reading that you think, oh wow, that's, call them.
Okay,
See, yeah,
and this is where we're looking for a tree inventory
arborist.
arborist. Okay.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna research the grants and, yeah.
yeah. You kinda don't want to.
So if that's any more questions about that piece of our agenda, as far as the tree inventory, any other questions or thoughts? Then we can move to Going Green in the Grove, May the 4th, from 12 to 4 p.m. That's a Saturday. So Going Green in the Grove, and I'll let you again take over, because I talked to Angel today, and I asked Angel, I sent out a message to the Parks Board to see if somebody could kind of join us and be part of it, but since you serve a dual purpose, you could be that person. So,
At the community center?
at the community, the Horn Park Community Center. So,
Is there a specific day?
May 4th.
May
Thank
4th.
you.
12 to 4.
And then I'll let Kelsey take over as far as what it is and what we plan, what we need to be doing for that.
Correct.
So it's a whole day, like community day for
Yeah, there's.
families and everybody. Our role in the Greenscape Commission, usually we hand out tree saplings. So as part of, I think it's through the Arbor Day Foundation,
Yes.
as part of our Tree City situation, we get, I don't know, I want to say 500 or so
Yeah.
tree saplings. I mean, it's just a stick with a few roots. Angel has already ordered those, she told me. So they show up big bundles, and then we stand behind tables and hand them out. They are,
No, I didn't do anything for Zach with stuff other than.
last year and previous years, we've had plastic bags for the roots, like we stick them in a bucket of water in each one, and then we wrap it, because people line up
Yes.
and they
It's
want a
fast
specific. I've made, usually I make like a page for each tree, like here's what it looks like, it blooms at this time, blah, 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 and we posted that on Facebook last year, and people like knew what they wanted when
Yeah.
they showed up.
Yeah.
It was kind of great, so we got them organized, but it gets, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like chaos for a
Be
little bit.
prepared to be dirty and get there early and get organized and.
Last year I went the day before to try to get some of the separating
Yeah.
done myself, but then I had an emergency
That's
and I
right.
had to leave, so it was like.
Well, I can certainly help you with that. I can help you with
Yeah.
that.
If we need to do a
If
meetup
we
just
could
to
do
like
it
separate the separating,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would love to get rid of the plastic aspect of it, because
Okay.
it's all, you know, it's about
True, good
environmental
point.
today. So if we could figure out a paper way or some other thing to like wrap the roots, because we just want to keep the roots wet, because people are gonna walk around and
Yeah,
it'll be a
that's
while
true.
before they get home. Even if it's like, I keep thinking wax paper, but that's not, I don't know.
I have,
saving the Southside Times.
oh yeah, but well, I don't know, because I have to come up with something soon. Cause just a brown paper bag is a little thicker,
But then it's gonna be wet.
yeah.
So I don't know, maybe plastic is the way, but
Yeah. I don't know
also
if there's
last
a
year, we
biodegradable-
had like giant trash bags for each tree, so I would
Yeah.
at least like to
Yeah.
get smaller
A
plastic
sleeve,
bags.
more of a sleeve.
Figure out.
How big are the roots?
I mean, if they, maybe this long sometimes,
They'll
some of
grow.
them, and some
Okay.
of them
Alright, cause I used to use like these little plastic bags that I got at the dollar store to put stuff in when I was doing massage. And I put like a little ball and something on, you know, a little back scratch or whatever. But I could bundle it, and the bags were about like that, and they were 20 for $1. There's a possibility.
yeah,
And if that's not gonna work, then we'll figure out something else.
it's just the paying for it, like
Yes.
I can contribute, I don't mind that, paying for it to contribute, and I do have some bag sleeves that we use to hand out candidate information, it's like the little door knockers.
Yeah.
I've got those, and I've got a bundle of those.
Maybe we just all start looking around for little,
Yeah.
like, they don't all
But we're
have
gonna
to
need
be
a
the
lot,
same.
we're gonna need
A lot,
a lot,
like
hundreds.
500, like if it were,
Okay.
Garfield Park did theirs, and we just got like bare
Bare
roots,
root,
didn't
yeah.
they? Were just like here.
Really?
They were like, oh.
And then you carry it around all day because you don't want them to dry out.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
tried
that
it,
was-
yeah,
that was strange.
Did they really, they just gave you
Just bare root, yeah.
because we got buckets, they're in water, it's dirty,
Yeah,
yeah.
wet and dirty. Yeah, you get wet and dirty.
Do you know what, because you're instrumental in what we order, correct?
This is it.
Angel said you were,
I have picked out. I've sent her
or we
lists
will
before,
then next
but
year, we'll be instrumental in what we order,
They
correct?
also don't always send us exactly what we ordered. Like it's a thing where they're like, last year we got wildlife bundles and they were supposed to have all these things in them. And they were Pawpaw was missing. Every single person wanted a Pawpaw. And they're like, they didn't send them, so so it's kind of eh. But we usually have a lot left over.
And then there's little people that'll take them.
Like at the end, we start just like
Here.
here, and they're like farmers and people with
Yeah.
big land. They're like, I'll take whatever you got. Like,
One
great.
year, one year we had some type of an evergreen and somebody wanted to put around the pond, around their, the perimeters of their pond, and they were kind of waiting toward the end, and we were just giving them as
Yeah.
many of those as we could, because they were a large tree.
Yeah, it was a big break going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
But I would say
okay.
if it were about this size, of a
And
plastic
opening
bag,
needs to
or
be-
bigger,
Opening needs to be, I think, a decent size, because when you got, a lot of what we were doing last year, somebody would kind of hold the bag open
Yeah.
and stuff, and then
or you
somebody
kind of
would,
have to like untangle.
yeah.
It's hard to find them.
They can't
And
fill.
so, because it's an assembly line,
Yeah.
and you're moving fast, and then the big thing is we have to have tables set out, and everything has to be separated, because you wanna make sure, if they're asking for this, you give them the right one. The last thing I would want is for somebody to take a tree and it would be the wrong thing growing in their yard, and like going,
Yeah. It'd almost be great if we had like a small like baguette bag, you know?
Yeah.
Like long and just
Like at Kroger?
and you could like crinkle
'Cause
it
it kind
up.
of wax
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know.
Kitchen Carry down
Oh.
does a lot of that stuff. I don't.
like something that's biodegradable, you think might,
Yeah, just
Or at least
brown
better than a-
paper.
yeah,
Yeah.
Better than a big trash.
Let me look
Yeah,
at Cash and
absolutely.
Carry.
okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely have a pretty decent number of those plastic door knockers that are about this, like,
Yeah, let's use those
we'll,
up.
we'll use those up, yeah. We just have to
So
make
if
sure.
anybody like the day before would be available to kind of get started on that, that would be that's. And then we're not just because I mean 12 to 4 feels like a long time that day, so I don't really want to get there at 9 just to
You have to,
Right.
we'll
because
get
they're
there early
lined up.
anyway to help set up.
There's a lot going on in that activity section.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Even if it's only like if you only got an hour, it's like it'll help.
So we'll communicate, because we have a meeting between that time.
Okay.
If we'll decide when our next meeting is, okay. About
Just
how many
keep
are we getting?
How many
Uh,
saplings?
Remember, I think it's about 500.
Yeah.
I can ask Angel.
Oh. I've got several of them on my property that I've got Arbor Day trees, and there was like a pencil. And my Cahills who do my lawn, I use Cahills on the landscaping to do my grass, to help me, they do my
What time do you wanna
fertilizing
do
stuff
that
on
on the
my
third?
lawn. And he's always asking me, where'd you get that tree? How'd you get that tree?
Whatever time
And we just
people are
start,
available.
I
I
start
mean, not
as a
first
stick.
thing in the morning,
Just
but
take care of it.
I've got the red bud, I've got 2 red buds now that I planted that are doing.
So,
You just-
right now
you
I'm
just-
pretty open.
And
I can
the
be
button
there
bush,
in the early
I love
afternoon.
the
Yeah, that
button
would be
bushes
good.
that
Okay,
are.
and
Have you ever
then
seen a
do you
button
wanna
bush?
meet at
So,
maybe
Like,
at the
yeah.
when they are,
community center.
when they're mature with the fruit or whatever it is, it almost looks like a
And that's not
COVID
set in
spore.
stone. I gotta ask them
But it's
about
a
it.
globe, it's
No
like a
worries.
globe, and it's
And,
got, and the bees, pollinators, and loves it. And they've got a little bit of a sweet smell. The button bushes are so cool, the bees love them. But it kind of looks like the COVID spore. It does, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is it 12 to 4
And I got,
on
I got
Saturday?
that from Arborist, from one of our.
One of the
And it's a
things
nice
I
simple
have a
dish.
problem
You
with
can
is
make-
if they're doing this,
you can
if
make
they
too many
pop
eggs or
popcorn in the community center,
They do.
I,
I have to leave.
Okay. Well, we are outside giving out the saplings.
it might be cold.
Okay, alright, I can do that. I may be able to do that. It's just soy and corn together are unique for me.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
You know, I could tolerate it for about that long, and then I start breaking out in
Usually do have
hives.
popcorn. So, but we're outside, like right outside the doors.
Is it a little later this year? Because I thought it was usually in April.
April, yeah.
This is May, but anyway,
I don't remember.
but it's usually, that's Arbor Day, right? That's Arbor Day celebration, okay. Cause I've been out there, you got a sweatshirt and you're cold.
Have to say it.
Okay, good. But yeah, volunteers the night before is big, and then all of us,
Yeah.
how we can manage it that day.
It's so good.
Even if we don't get through all the bagging the day before, getting a start on it.
Yeah.
Because there will be a line, like before noon, there will be a line.
They're there for, and then you usually have a flyer that is a descriptive of every tree, and there's also planting instructions, I believe. Yeah. It's a fun day.
I've done a couple of them.
One year, somebody brought a camel, so they brought a camel, and the camel got a little agitated.
Yeah, they were trying to get it from the pen to the
Yeah.
trailer.
It was
And it was like,
I'm not doing
It was
that.
kind of like
It
making
kinda
a
went
scene.
rogue.
It was scary. So I was like, what if this camel gets loose?
Right.
It kind of went a little
Right.
rogue.
No, get a petting zoo, like where they have little bitty ponies, if you wanna do something like that. That's what we did for Zoe's birthday when she was like 6. And the guy like brought these little ponies out and little bitty animals and put them in a pen. They were
I
great.
think they had, maybe they had goats or miniature dogs.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
had
sure.
some other stuff too,
Yeah.
but
This
that
is-
camel did not want to go
That
in the
camel
trailer.
was,
I've never been around a camel. I heard those things spit.
I think they do, yeah. It was.
we kept a distance.
Yeah, some people started to like gather to like
Yeah.
watch it. I was like,
No,
oh,
no.
going away.
That's like these people in Yellowstone trying to go up and pet a
Yeah.
bison. I'm
Getting
like,
a little too close.
No, no.
Yeah.
We're not gonna piss off the good human. Alrighty, so that's pretty much what else. That's just everything that I put on the agenda for just.
Let's see. My first novice to naturalist day is May 18th.
So will you share
9
that
to
with
noon.
the?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
share
still
that.
getting like some things together, just my graphics.
May 18th?
9 to noon, 9 a.m. to noon, at the Prairie Garden at Cerro Bowl.
I pulled a lot of thistle.
Yeah, prickly lettuce.
Prickly lettuce. What's that
Cerebral.
little? What's
And
that little?
that's, which one? Over by the diamonds or up by the hill?
It's the prairie meadow. It's,
Oh, that's where the little bird feeders are.
Yes.
The little bird houses. Okay. I love that. I was like,
That's my little like pet project. Is that
and all those bird houses, I was like,
Some of them need replaced.
Wow.
They're getting raggedy, but we'll get to it.
what's that little, it's roots underground, but it's all like a little wild strawberry. What,
It's wild strawberries.
okay, because it's horrible, it's invasive.
It's not good.
I'm always going out there pulling up a big bunch of it.
I tried to eat those little berries once. I'm like, oh, this is not a real strawberry.
I would think toxic might be the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't spray anything on my yard either, so, you know.
Alright, so that's got a lot for us to get done. Any just
Yeah.
open discussion as far as anything else that we need to add, we can just talk about. I think we kinda got the grants, I kinda got volunteers, we talked about education. Oh, there might be a shred day. We have our scheduled shred days, and it's possible that I can get the mayor to give us a shred day, we
Oh,
get the
it's-
tips.
It's definite that we're looking for people.
Okay.
Let me see. I know. Hold on,
And
let me
that's
get to
on a
my email, I'll
Saturday, and I
find it.
forget when the next one is. They're looking for people to volunteer. So if we can go do a shred day, any tips, we'll get the money.
Here, hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't know that we have a bank account.
We don't, but we could have the city like hold us.
Yeah,
Put it towards the tree inventory match.
that's what I would,
Like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Or towards the prairie garden, they just, we could do that.
Oh, that's-
Novice national.
Okay.
Get some plants.
Well, we've got, just so there's a legitimate place for
I
us
always
to
want
put
to
the
say
money.
natives, that's what mess myself up.
Because they collect several $100s usually on those, so you just show up on the shred day, it's like 4
March.
hours, and you just help dump everything that people shred.
That's here, isn't
It's
it?
behind City Hall.
Behind City Hall,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
June 1st and November 2nd are open.
So let me
as
try
far
to
as I
get
know.
the June 1st one. I'm gonna call, I'll send him a message tonight and say, can we have the June 1st?
It's just a recognition.
And for that, I'm reading notes from Next Stop Bistro, and they're also trying to expand that to like, they're looking for somebody to come do a tops drop pickup as part of that. I don't know if anybody has any connections.
Say what now, or what?
Tox drop, like where you drop a whole paint and stuff
Oh.
in with batteries.
Perry Government Center.
Do you? Sometimes my mechanic takes that stuff for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Jack Cartack over at Victory Drive. He said, yeah, let's just bring me your old oil and stuff. And okay, Jack. Cool. So June 1st for shred day, I'll try to get that.
At this point, I just know
So I did ask Brad Merriweather, he did respond to me, so he's going to have Jamie Lockwood, who's kind of like the street guy in the DPW and he lives in Beach Grove. So he's gonna be kind of like our DPW connection.
Okay.
So he was able to get a hold of him because we changed locations. He wasn't gonna be able to make it tonight anyway because of our grandson's volleyball Sunday. But, so we do have a DPW connection.
Cool. Who was that?
Jamie Lockwood. And I can send you I can actually send you, I can send you his contact so we can share. And if you go to the Beach Grove website, you can just put in Jamie Lockwood if you want to, as a group. But I thought it would be good to have that connectivity. And if you have the connectivity with the Parks Board, I just think it's real important for these boards and commissions to get to know each other.
It would be good to have the Parks Board people come to parties. We do June 1st for the shredding.
Okay, ask the Parks.
I'll
I can
ask
ask
them.
you, I'll have Casey Timmons, the president. So. Okay.
Who is that with the DPW?
Jamie Lockwood with the DPW. He's kind of in charge of he's like the street guy is how Brad put it to me. And he lives in Beach Grove, so he's kind of gonna be our, how would I say that, our liaison between with us and the DPW. So we'll work together on what trees are where, and that's, I think it's better to have that communication.
When's the next Board of Works meeting?
It'll be April 1, because they have the Board of Works meetings twice a month, and it's the same night as our city council meeting. So Monday, April 1, I believe, is that on we'll have a city council meeting, and the Board of Works is at 6, and the council's at 7.
Would it be, is there any reason, like I'm kind of thinking, should I go to that meeting and just say, hey, we're the Greenscape Commission and we're real now? This is our plan, just to present things
Yeah.
so people
Jim,
are
when
like,
you
where's
put it
this coming from?
Yeah, you can either sign up for public comments that
Okay.
way, or you can ask Jim to put us on the agenda. If you want me to ask Jim to put us on the agenda, I can ask
I
him
think
that.
that would be a good,
To put
a good way to like start getting out there.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary to go to the council yet, is it, I don't know, but.
So you wanna go to the Board of Works, I got you. And that's it.
Yeah, because if we're asking DPW to kind of be working with us and helping.
Absolutely.
We're talking about trees.
And Brad's always there.
Yeah.
We saw Tom at our swearing in, but I don't think Tom knows who I am. So it was
Well,
just
he did not
funny.
respond to me when I asked, but I figured we had Kelsey, but I wanted to tell Tom that we're up and running and give him that extended, that invite.
Yeah, and I think too, once they realize like what we're trying to do, you know, like we can have some knowledge of what they're doing too, just so we're not stepping on toes. Like we really can work together, but like we also need a little bit of communication for that to happen.
So that will be you then, as a presenter.
Okay, so you'll be going to represent the Greenscape?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Just
That'll
to
be
kind of
April 1.
introduce all of this, here's our plan.
And if you
We're
want us
getting
all to
close.
be there, we can.
If you want,
Yeah.
yeah.
6
You'll be there
o'clock.
for the,
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah.
Is there any point to do, say the council meeting too, the same thing, or?
I don't,
think that's kind
the
of
council's got
opening-
enough
yeah,
going on.
That's kind of what I was,
Yeah.
another can of worms.
Stay in a safe, stay in a comfortable.
Are these held at City Hall?
Yes. Yeah, let's just,
And where is it held? I've never,
at City Hall, and
City Hall.
upstairs in the chambers. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Grandma want you, or they don't accept us, or yeah.
And what is that exact address? 5, I don't even remember. No,
It's
it's not
800.
8, that's right, it's 800.
Whenever
800 Main Street.
Okay, so I'll ask Jim about shred day, I'll ask him to put us on the agenda, and then we'll ask Parks Board to join.
Yeah, as Parks Board or like shredding thing, I'll say the same thing at the next Parks Board meeting.
all of her experiences.
I think I said all of this at the last one, but
They're amazing.
I'll just keep talking about it.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Everybody.
And then,
That way when we ask them for money,
I think,
I'm proud of you, Mark.
it won't be the first time they've heard from us.
I think Samantha likes to put on the website a little headshot of all everyone. If you've got a nice little headshot, you wanna go outside someplace and do a little headshot, we can send it to Samantha, and when she builds the commission page, she'll put all of our pictures on there.
Try not to have invasive species in the back.
Okay. Tell us which tree to stand beside.
Well, I did that with city council stuff. Remember we were at Benedict and we were like, let's take headshots. And I was like, all right, but this one's invasive. So let's go to there. Oh, really? There was a mulberry tree. I was like, not this one, guys. I can't.
But if you wanna go down the park somewhere, or go
Pick
to
your
the
favorite
Prairie
tree to
Meadow,
stand in
or-
front of.
yeah, right now, Prairie
Or
Meadow,
stand in front of Bradford Pears.
Oh.
With a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Photo.
There's that. It's going around on Facebook now, the like little meme where it's like, it's time to prune your Bradford pears. The best cut is 2 inches above the ground horizontally.
Yes.
All right, well, I think, so what do you think, everyone? Our tree team?
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
The most productive
I know.
commission meeting
So
I've
next-
ever been to.
Next meeting then, so does this work? So next meeting, if we look at April, we want to do a Tuesday, April the 23rd? What do you think? Just you guys, I don't care, because I'll take. And then we can try to do at the hilltop, and with this always is our. So what do you think? So Tuesday, April 23rd, is there anything else going on that we need to?
Not that I know. I'm good for right now.
Is 5
I
doable for
think it's good
everybody?
with me.
It's perfect for me. Because if I go home first and get the dogs all riled up, then it's
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Do we wanna try to keep it every
Like, what is that, the third Tuesday?
third Tuesday of the month?
I think that's good for,
You want, so then you wanna make it the 16th
Yeah.
then? Yeah, let's do that then. You wanna do the 16th, I'm sorry. I was just,
oh, is that,
so the 3rd, in April, the 3rd would be the 16th. You want it, yeah, that point.
In the high school.
yeah, that's fine. There
It's
is,
kind of a long month, so.
It is.
April 16th, there's a Parks Foundation fundraiser luncheon, just so you know, at 524 Main Street, just raising money for Parks Foundation.
Oh, wow. And that's when? That's the.
April 16th,
Okay. Is that like after our,
11 a.m. It's a lunch.
oh, lunch?
One was the number page and one.
That might not be a bad idea if we could like share all that stuff, if that's park stuff. I guess we could just go to the Parks Board Facebook or whatever,
I don't know if the Parks Board has a Facebook.
or the website, I guess.
Mostly because I
Kind of track them that way.
statistically last year.
I don't know if we have any of that.
Okay.
Kind of works out.
Maybe they recognize face.
And then for as far as the Facebook thing goes, does anybody want to be an administrator? Or how do we, I don't know, what do you want to work on that tonight or?
Yeah, I just need to add people.
Okay, you need to do
I
that.
can do that, yeah. Because I'm already an admin, so I should need to.
Okay.
It's not really been used for much, except I'll see native plant things and share it through the Greenscape thing.
But like that NPR, this old house, when they had a session, an episode on how to trim your bushes and stuff, it'd be okay to share stuff like that on there? Or I guess you'd have to approve it first.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, it's actually, so.
Okay.
Share bad information.
No. I think this old house on NPR is pretty reliable.
Probably good.
Just
Yeah,
tell
that's
me
the
what
one.
it is you want, put where. I don't want to step on any toes, and I don't want to, and but just tell me what you want up, and I'll do my best.
Sure. Okay. I was thinking your t-shirt was a fun thing to reference. So
I saw these buttons, and it's just a tree, like, tree cookie, and it says unless, which is from the Lorax, like, unless someone, like, cares a whole awful lot, it's not going to get better. It's
cool.
yeah, so it's just a little treat.
That's cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
let's get to
So
it.
yeah,
Well, I was first thinking that we could make these letters real big and then have a sketch, not a photo, but a sketch inside of each one of these things. It's kind of like what we do.
oh, cool.
So this is a horrible picture, but they're terrible pictures of Beach Grove. We could have a better detailed photo of all the trees on Main Street. Sarah C. Bolton, of course, recognizable for their bridges and stuff, and then the trail. And I had an idea for the fourth one, but I can't remember what it is now. I think I was looking at Don Chalice just because it had a really good set of like trees that were higher up off the ground to where they were groomed and pretty looking. So I don't know if you have ideas for photos that could be incorporated, or maybe we just put, the four, I don't know. I guess if you have ideas about how to consolidate everything down to like 4 specific places that really represent where we are and what we do, that would be cool to have those ideas. And then I thought about maybe, because I'm not really super handy, like if I had the software to do graphic design, I got you, but I don't. And maybe we employ is it Sherry Joy down the way? No. Okay. Cool.
Well, Samantha,
Okay.
so she can't, or Samantha
You
Stratton
can
does.
draw.
Samantha, you can't.
Yeah, I do graphic design.
Oh, great. Okay, all the designs. Great.
Yeah, cool. So maybe next meeting then we can kind of talk, or if you can come up with something before then, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And maybe it's too cheesy, but I liked there's an image on the internet of like a tree, like reaching out to a human and shaking hands.
Oh.
Maybe that's too
No,
low hanging fruit, but
no, not for me.
yeah. So between all those ideas, the Lorax idea, and all of this, maybe we can take it down.
Well, I almost bought us all those buttons anyway. Like,
Aw.
I wouldn't wear that. Like,
Where did
instead
you
of
get
talking-
them?
I just saw it online.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, I don't know, the Lorax crossed my mind. I was like, I want a little pin to wear when I'm talking about my trees. Yeah. So that was like pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, work more on that.
Start drawing.
And we got the guy with our master gardener, so we can start that. Oh, and then, just so everyone knows, and I think it's already been out in for public notifications of our Beech Grove, future farmers. They have a plant sale. So do you guys know when you know about that at all?
No.
Okay, let me find it.
When and where?
It's over at, basically they've got the greenhouse over there, so Beech Grove.
Oh, at the high school.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to do it, or like what do you just?
Let me see if I could just, Beech Grove Future Farms, okay. Beech Grove, where would I find it? Okay, Beech Grove, chat. Oh, I'll find it, so, go ahead, somebody, while I look for this.
That's a great thing about the website. You can Google the information you need, and it'll actually take you searching stuff for Beech Grove.
Oh, here we go, I found it. So Beech Grove FFA, April the 10th. Oh, that was the 2022, never mind, it's in the new one. Oh, yeah, oh dear. Click on, okay, oh, okay, okay, gosh, see, I need to do that. Oh, I thought, well, maybe I was looking at an old one then. I know I saw somewhere, maybe that's not Beech Grove, Indiana, it is, isn't it? Maybe it's not Beech Grove, Indiana. Yeah, that's the one. Huh.
Well, yeah, that's from 22.
Yeah. Huh. I know they've got. Okay.
I'm just gonna Google it.
Okay, Google it.
It doesn't seem to be great either, but
I used to go to Hydrikes all the time, but they closed. Bill Heidmark couldn't keep the business going because his wife had really bad rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, it just takes me to the Facebook page.
Is that what it does? Okay, all right. Well, I'll look for it. I thought for sure they posted something recent. Okay,
Which is, should be.
they've been on. I know the teacher at the middle school kind of heads that up. I might send him, okay, well, anyway.
Well, I'll follow them
Amazing. Oh, I can't. Great. Let's.
from the Greenscape Commission page. Yeah, it's not even on like the high school's.
I thought I saw
List of
somewhere
things.
where they listed their, oh, I'll be darned. Okay.
So also, is everybody on the Greenscape Commission email chain?
Yes.
Like when I send stuff out, did you guys get?
Yeah, I will have to double check. I'm not used to looking.
It'll
I'll
like,
have to.
if I send something to, I think it's greenscape@beachgrove.com, it should go to all of you. But it says it's from Kelsey Beal. Like it won't say it's from the Greenscape Commission.
Okay.
It's just like an email group.
Yeah, we got the forestry.
Great.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
We haven't talked
Oh,
about that.
let's talk about that, yeah, that's it.
So those days, I didn't even bring them. Well,
Easily.
it's
I
2
think
days.
Sister Sheila sent it to me, hold on. And I was.
I'm gonna go for work anyway, but I thought it would be cool.
I think Sister Sheila sent that, and I think I sent it to you guys, I thought I did.
18th and 19th.
Yeah, in West Lafayette.
And there's one, is there one in Martinsville?
That's a different
No,
one,
that's
yeah.
what Sister Sheila sent me.
I'm gonna go to all that, but it's just kind of tree education and all of this.
So the
that
one
we're doing
Sister
this
Sheila
month.
is it
sent
called?
me was,
Tree steward workshop.
the Division of
Yes.
Forestry,
Yeah,
Yes.
is that the one? Yep, okay,
through the DNR.
okay. So I think, did we share it with everybody again?
I've got it.
You got it?
Um,
Did you send that to us via email? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. I will look for
Be
it.
able to
Thank you.
make that.
I have
just
to
because it's
put my email that I created for the Greenscape onto this computer.
and so I'm gonna, I mean, if anybody wants to carpool, we can work that out when we get closer. I mean, it's April. We'll have our next meeting earlier that week, so we can.
So you're gonna go to where? You're going to Martinsville?
I'm going to all of them, but West Lafayette,
Okay.
the 18th and 19th. I'll have to like step out a few times to do some webinar things, but
So you're gonna go up for the day and come back?
yeah.
Okay, I'll go with you, I think, well, I'll see what, if I'm gonna have to babysit, I'll have to see, yeah. And then.
I wasn't sure if I would go to both days, but again, we'll just when it gets closer.
Would the one in Martinsville be
18th, the 19th
closer?
or so?
They're two different things, so I'm going to the one in Martinsville is a different day. That's
Okay, I think it was later.
May.
Okay,
Aging out phrase.
well, we can look at it and kind of decide. How far is West Lafayette? Oh, that's just.
About an hour.
Okay, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also want to share with you guys, Keep Indianapolis Beautiful with Indianapolis. They've got, oh my God, this is so cool. They've got an LGBTQ chamber, and they do so many cool things. What did I see?
You're not supposed to do like it's not like a. No, you're a teacher.
It was real, they did something with Keep Indianapolis Beautiful.
Doctor, like.
Is it the Rainbow Chamber?
The Rainbow Chamber.
Oh, yeah.
The Rainbow Chamber, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry. As you can tell. Oh, sometimes I get, yes, the Rainbow Chamber. I was telling you, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they host a night or two during Pride, or maybe they're the, or they get the organizers.
I saw something, yeah, and I posted some stuff on my story. But they did a lot of cool things with Keeping Indianapolis Beautiful. So is that somebody we should reach out to for anything now? No?
I'm not.
Okay.
I have already,
Fix that
but I
up.
don't want to say on the professional thing.
Okay. All right.
I mean, great group, I'm glad they exist, but I don't want
So, if we're done, we can make a motion to adjourn?
second the motion.
All right, we're adjourned at 6:21. Good.
Awesome.